We're live. Hello, 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 everyone.
Hello, everyone. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday indeed. Let's go ahead and let's get kicked off. We're just a few minutes late, so sorry about that. But Sisyphos, take us away.
Yep. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Happy to have you all back here. I don't know how many people are there tuned in, but it's always a pleasure to have you all on Fridays to discuss a little bit um, the week with zkSync. And today we have the pleasure of having Antonio with us. Antonio is a DevRel at Matter Labs. Welcome, Antonio, and hello, Big Fan.
Hello, hello.
Hey, yeah,
Uh,
nice. Thank you for having me.
of course, of course. So yeah, we'll go ahead and just jump right into it. We know the community loves getting to know more about our team members, and so like was said, we got Antonio, DevRel, Developer Relations Engineer's official title. But Antonio, why don't you tell us a little bit about background, basically your elevator pitch, and maybe explain what a DevRel is to some people. They might not know exactly what that means in the context of their everyday lives.
Okay, how long do we have? Because I can talk for a long time.
Yeah. Well, we have a 40-minute limit on Zoom. If we don't get to the other things, that's totally fine. You're more interesting than all the news that's already been out on Twitter. So this is the real alpha.
I'm not sure about that. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I joined the team like almost 2 months ago, so not that far. And yeah, before joining Matter Labs, I worked as a developer advocate at ChainStack, which is another blockchain related company. And before that, I was like a software engineer working for a bank for like 12 years. And basically, after so many years working on enterprise, I got like super tired of all the bureaucracy of a big company, and I quit my job and then spent 2 years like as an indie hacker, uh, like building my own projects and building websites, learning a lot of cool stuff. I even started a podcast like thing, and then a couple months later, I started like learning Solidity. I'm getting into blockchain, and yeah, here I am today. So yeah, that's pretty good.
Nice. Hold on. I think we're getting some reports that the streaming is a little behind. I guess, or freezing a bit, and I do see that on my end, but I'm wondering how that works. I wonder if they just like catch up eventually. Let me see. Let me just check really quick before we move on, so that way you don't have to repeat everything again.
So we're currently checking on the YouTube chat if everything is all good with the
And I do
recording.
see that on my end, but I'm wondering. Okay.
Hello, everyone.
How that works. I wonder if
Everyone
they just.
says hello, hi.
Okay. I think I clicked the link. It looks like everything's going fine. Though the community will let us know I'm recording this anyway, so just in case I've got a backup. Okay. So cool. Thank you, Antonio, for the background. Okay, so then what about as far as like you've had that experience coming from the banking world, and now you're in crypto? Loves kind of seeing if anybody hasn't already checked out some of the things you've done. I think that's what was great to see is like that experience in there, getting your hands dirty with the code. So now, how does that lead to your position with zkSync and Matter Labs? And what do you do from the day to day, or not exactly day to day, but what do you do as a DevRel here?
Yeah, sure. So when I joined, the main focus was trying to get our docs in the best shape as possible before launching on mainnet. And I worked together with one of the other team members that is a technical writer, and we spent a lot of time going to the docs and making sure that every concept there was explained as best as possible. And I also focus a lot on the tutorials that we have. And I spend a lot of time going through the tutorials, making sure that the code works, and trying to keep them updated. As you know, that's been like big challenge for us because we've been pushing so many updates in our libraries, in our SDKs, in the platform itself. So it's been like fix things, try them, then a couple of days later they don't work anymore. So fix them again, and yeah. So that's been like a big part of my day to day up until now. And right now, now that we are mainnet and that we have those tutorials like in a working as expected, I'm trying to focus a little bit more on customer support, you can say. So I talk a lot with projects, and they have a lot of questions about zkSync, about about a lot of different things, like how to bridge assets, how do we close blocks, how the transactions work, how to send messages from L1 to L2, a lot of different things. I'm there like trying to answer all those questions. And then another part that I'm trying to focus on is education. And how I'm going to approach that is creating workshops that we plan to do maybe in person. We're still trying to figure that out. But we want to educate developers on how to develop applications on zkSync and how to migrate applications from other EVM chains to zkSync. And that's going to be our main focus in the next month, trying to create those workshops. Yeah, so you will probably see me around, like asking questions, not here, on Twitter, on our Discord, and I hope we can run some of those workshops online, maybe in this channel. Yeah, we'll be happy to see developers participating in those workshops.
Yeah, absolutely. I think and to give some background for people who are maybe newer to our community or have been here, myself and Sisyphos have been the kind of main collector of all developer questions, user questions, like all over the place. And we have a little bit of knowledge, but it's like scratching the surface where we can understand a little bit. But once it gets more technical, it's great to have Antonio on board to just like that next level support for those developers. So that like speeds up that process and make sure that they get, like you said, that customer service, the best customer service that that we can bring, and that's what we really try to help or shoot for in our community. And so it's great having you on board. I've already seen the progress or like the changes on our Discord and our support with having you on board. I think our community is seeing that as well. So then, what about like what's next? Like or I guess you did talk about the tutorials and stuff. I guess you pretty much covered that. But what about hackathons? I know we've had one recently, and so I think this would be a great opportunity for us to talk a little bit about the hackathons that we've had and things coming up as well.
Yeah, sure. So we know that that hackathons are a great place to talk with developers and get inspiration for things that we can do better and see how is how are developers using our platform. How and one great example of that is ETH Lisbon. We were there a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, we were one of the sponsors, and we had a bounty for the hackathon that we were asking devs to develop applications around account abstraction. And we had the chance to talk with a lot of people. There were a lot of developers that have tons of questions about account abstractions, that like, what can I build and what can I do? What is a paymaster? And I had a lot of conversations about paymasters because I think that's Paymaster is a feature that I really, really like, and that I think it can create like a whole new industry just around it. And yeah, we talked with a lot of projects. We got a lot of submissions, and we have probably announced the winners of our bounty on Twitter, but if not, we can announce them here if you guys want. So yeah,
Yes.
shall I go through?
Yeah.
Okay.
We just announced them on Twitter, but happy to
Cool.
go
Yeah.
through them again. Yeah.
Yeah, so I can give you on Twitter. I guess we just posted a tweet, and I can give like a quick phrase of every project, uh, so people know what kind of things they have built for us.
Yep. Sisyphos, are you able to share your screen for that? I know if I do it, it messes with everything because I'm the streaming host. you see if you can pull it up so while Antonio goes over it, they can see it too?
I can try to pull up the tweet. Yeah. Just as a note, we're receiving comments, Antonio, if there is any way for you to increase a little bit the volume of your mic, maybe on maybe on Zoom.
Let me also try on my end.
Let me.
Oh, what? It got reset. My bad.
So let me try to share that. Not sure if I can share only the window. Here we
Okay.
go.
Try now talking now, Antonio.
Okay. How is it? Is it better now?
There you go. Sisyphos, you should be able to.
Yep. Let's find the tweet.
Post both voices. Okay, okay. Only guest voice. Oh.
Can you all see the our recent tweet?
Nice.
Yay.
Nice. So we just announced it like just before starting the recording, and we have 3 winners. Antonio, I'll let you announce them and tell us a little bit of what they've been doing and why are they winning?
Yeah, well, they're winning basically for a simple reason. They got the biggest number of votes internally in the team. So what we did is we created like an internal poll with all the information of all the projects, and basically everyone at Matter Labs had a chance to vote and select the ones that they thought were the best ones. And these are the winners. It's actually not the first, second, or third. They all get the same prize, so they are just 3 winners in no specific order. So congratulations to all of them, first of all. Testament is a pretty cool application that basically you create your own account, and it uses account abstraction, and you have to check in that you are still alive like every 60 days or every 90 days. And basically, if that period of time passes and you don't check in, that means that you're probably dead, and there are 2 other people that can actually use your account on your behalf, and you don't have to they don't have to have your private key or anything. So that's pretty cool. zkSync Patron, that one uses paymasters, and basically this application allows users to pay for transactions for a specific protocol. So for example, if you have Uniswap and Uniswap has a specific token there, I can be a patron of one of the smart contracts of Uniswap and pay for any transactions of that smart contract for all the users. And that one is pretty cool as well. And I actually voted for that one. And Session Wallet, it's another one. Uniswap has a specific. Basically, in this one, you create session keys that you can give to other people, and with that session key, they can send transactions on your behalf using your wallet, and you can activate those session keys or deactivate them whenever you want. That one also uses account abstraction, and yeah, it was pretty cool. I want to mention or give a shout out to another 2 projects that I think were pretty cool, but they didn't win. One of them is Proof of Meet, which is basically an application to create like pop-ups when you meet someone in person. That one was pretty cool. And there was a bridge between Starnet and zkSync. I think that was pretty cool as well. But yeah, they didn't make it. But congratulations to all the ones that sent their project. They were pretty cool, and we talked with a lot of these projects in person, our Discord. Yeah, they're great. So congrats.
Congratulations, everyone.
Congratulations.
It was great to meet you all at ETH Lisbon. All the motivated developers that were willing to build on zkSync, leveraging account abstraction. You can also find on our documentation more tutorials about account abstractions. I believe the Argent series, part 1, part 2, and part 3, called "What the fuck is account abstraction," is really good give you an introduction about why it is useful, and why you should leverage it to improve the user experience of users on Ethereum and zkSync in general. So again, congratulations to Testament, zk Patron, and Social Wallet.
Nice. Yes, big congrats. Oh yeah, thank you very much for sharing that. Sorry, I was just putting some notes in to make sure that we put the WTF Argent articles in the notes so that people can get access to that. Yeah, they're great articles. Argent is a hell of a job of putting out that education. So great. Thank you so much, Antonio, for going over the winners. I like that we talked a little bit more about that Paymaster feature, because like you said, I think that's one of those like hidden gems that people don't really fully realize or know how to take advantage of yet. But it's going to be one of those like aha moments, like down the line on mainnet. People are like, oh my gosh, I should have been using something like this for a long time.
Yeah, definitely. And I really think that, yeah, as I said before, that a whole industry can just start using just paymasters. They give so many use cases. Like there could be a paymaster that pays for the first 10 transactions of your application for a user, so it's easier for them to onboard. Or you can use a paymaster to use in a specific ERC20 token, or you can use a paymaster to do all transactions for free. Or people can create an index of paymasters, so you as a user can choose any paymaster to use with your application. So I mean, the possibilities are endless, and that's the good thing, that paymasters, they're just another smart contract, and they are fully programmable, so developers can put whatever logic they can think of in the contract. So yeah, they are great.
Power to the people. Let's see. Okay, so what we can go ahead and do, Antonio, if you have anything else that you want to share or take the time to tell the community, we'll also open up for some questions in the chat. We're seeing some other questions related to the things that are going on in crypto right now. We'll focus on any questions that are like developer related or specific to Antonio, and we can touch base on other things later. So if anybody has anything to add, go ahead and put in the chat. And Antonio, if you have any of the last minute things to say, the floor is yours.
You can follow me on Twitter if you want. I will be sharing some knowledge about zkSync in general and all the things that developers can build on zkSync, posting new tutorials, asking many questions to what things do you guys want to see on our docs or tutorials, on our workshops. So yeah, that's basically my message.
All right.
I'm happy to answer any questions from the community. Yeah.
Sweet. And we'll put your Twitter link in the description, or it actually already is, so people can find you on Twitter. And then our Discord is our major portion of support right now. How do people find you on Discord if they need to find you?
Oh, my username is the same as my Twitter. And normally the guys that find me on Discord are you guys, because you tag me all over the place when there are questions. So yeah, I apologize if I'm not be able to answer all the questions that we have. We're super busy internally and working on the docs, and I know we have many questions that you guys are doing a great job answering some of them, and everyone in the community that is there answering questions. You have no idea how much we appreciate your job internally on the team, because we understand that there are people having the same questions all the time, or many times, but the job that you and everyone in the community is doing to answer those questions, that's great, and that helps us focus on improving our talks in my case, or in the tutorials, or working on workshops, but the product team working on the product, and all the engineers improve the protocol in general. So yeah, thank you to all of you guys to being there, answering questions, and the rest of the community just to being there and supporting us.
Absolutely. Yeah. Huge shout out to the community that helps out, and the devs that just step up and take charge and help out with answering the questions. That's what we're all about, is fostering this community of support, right? Without each other, it would just be like, hello, hello, hello. So it's great to have people who step up and say, hey, I'm going to help you out or do my best. And I love seeing that from our zk stars that we've seen from Delavan and Leon Ridge and zkSync. They are just stepping up and answering the best that they can, right? Maybe we can't always provide the exact answer, but I think in my viewpoint, it's better to provide that customer service and acknowledge that, hey, somebody's seen this and we're working on this, instead of just leaving it empty of nobody says anything. So, all right, I am not seeing any questions for you, Antonio. So I'll just say thank you very much for jumping on board. Love having you on the team, and thank you very much for joining us for the zkSync Weekly Rollup.
Thank you very much, Antonio.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. And yeah, we'll see you on Twitter, see you around on Twitter, on our Discord, and you guys. See you every day. See you.
That's right.
Thank you. Have a great weekend, Antonio.
See you, Antonio.
See you, Antonio.
All right. So back to biz. I don't know how much time we really have, so we'll just try to go through. I think the major things to go through are the things that you don't get to see all the time. So let's talk about some community announcements. We are, at the time of writing, we were at over 160,000 users on Discord. That could have changed by now. Who knows? Things are just flying by. And over 400,000 people on Twitter, followers on Twitter. So big congratulations. Love seeing the growing community. And I hope if you're new here, this is helpful for you to keep up with what's going on and follow along with us. Join into our community. We published the October community update on Reddit. So we have some updates of what's happened over in the community during the month of October. We have some new Crew 3 commands to get your Discord rolled back if you don't have them. So thank you to the Crew 3 team putting up some commands. So if you need it, it's the /resend -roles. You can check in the roles channel on Discord to get information of how to do that. There was an issue that we had where people were getting kicked every 30 minutes. So we do apologize about that. Found out it was one of our bots. One of the settings was tweaked incorrectly. So that shouldn't be the case anymore. So far, I've seen that it's been much better the last few days. So we appreciate all of your help with that. And then we are also aware the link for the form for the ambassador program is down. We're working on getting that back up, and that way people can apply or get some more information about what's coming up. And then, as most of you might have noticed by now, we changed our YouTube name to be zkSync focused instead of just Matter Labs. We're hoping that this helps with people finding our account instead of finding a bunch of airdrop and scam videos out there, and get this official information directly from the team. So you'll find us with YouTube at youtube.com/@zkSync-official. And you can find us there. And then we also had Albiona has joined for our advocacy program. She'll be heading the advocate program, ambassador program. The name kind of switches in between those. So we're working on putting all that together. And as we have more announcements, we'll keep you posted. About to have her on one of the roll-ups to introduce herself.
Yeah, I think in particular, Demacia is going to be happy.
Yeah.
I think
the meme machine.
Yeah, the meme machine. We love your meme. Keep fun with the good memes.
They're already probably here. They heard the word ambassador and they were already here.
Yeah, most likely. I think it's mostly all that we had from the community side.
Yeah. I
think we can go through the Join the Mission 13 that went out this week. I'm going to try again to share my screen to see if that works out. Does it work out? Here we go.
Nice.
Join the Mission 13. So that was sent a little bit more than 4 days ago this week. And as usual, the Join the Mission tweet is about highlighting a few projects that are building on zkSync. So let's go through the 13th edition. So we had first MagPi protocol that announced their cross-chain liquidity aggregator coming to zkSync 2.0. So we know how in the layer 2 spaces, but also Alt1, how important liquidity is, and services such as MACPI protocol allow to have more liquidity across all the chains. So shout out to them for building on zkSync. Omni, I'm not sure how we should pronounce that, a new wallet, another wallet added to the ecosystem. The more, the better. So welcome to the zkSync ecosystem. Homespace Metaverse has now a 3D Metaverse showroom on zkSync, and they're live. So on testnet, of course. So go visit their Metaverse and feel free to give them a little bit of feedback on their Twitter. Finally, Dora AG, which is a Swiss company that decided that they're going to be launching on zkSync 2.0 for the digital and investment platform, for the digital investment platform. So welcome, Dora, and looking forward to having you building on zkSync. Finally, Poly Network 2, they celebrated the launch of zkSync 2.0 on Baby Alpha. They explained the cost efficiency and self-bridging of assets and NFTs that will soon come to zkSync. Thank you again for building on zkSync. Welcome to the ecosystem, and we'll see next week to join the mission 14 to highlight more projects in the ecosystem.
Nice. Yep, it's always growing. Do you think you could share for the scaling the mission?
I'm gonna try that one. Yep. Here we go.
Nice. Okay, so in this week's Scaling the Mission, we focused on a bit of an educational layer, and we talked about one of the many features that we have in zkSync 2.0, and we focused this time on what's called the bootloader. So we threw in some like high-level overview of what the bootloader does, how things work with it. So if you want to learn more, you can read through here, but basically like this high-level viewpoint that it's this program called bootloader. Once this program receives the input from the operator, it first defines some system parameters for the block. So basically, the bootloader will read the list of transactions sequentially, and it just is making sure that everything is being processed correctly. So I don't need to get into the nitty-gritty of it. If you want to learn more, we have a few more tweet threads here about it, and then we'll continue on with some more progress or more updates about different portions of zkSync 2.0 to educate everyone. And it looks like we have about 10 minutes left, just FYI to everybody. So we'll keep going through here. What else do we have for our devs announcements this week, Sisyphos?
So that was widely anticipated. I would say that we increased the limit, the urge limit. So urge is a term that we use for zkSync to signify gas. It's the equivalent of gas on Ethereum. We use the word urge. So some developers were facing issues to deploy their contracts because they were reaching the limit of urge available. We raised a little bit that limit, and so if you were facing issues deploying new contracts before on zkSync 2.0 testnet, please try again. And as usual, if you face any issues, you can ask us on the developer support channel, and Antonio, BXPAN or myself, we will be happy to help you there. In general, one thing is if you face the issue of the urge limit being reached, two options. You can decide to split your contract, and we have a little bit a small explanation in our docs to how to do that. The urge limit is not always correlated with the contract size, so it's often how much urge your function consumes. So it's not necessarily related to how much kilobytes your contract is. So try to split your functions over different contracts, write dependencies, import the dependencies in the new contract, and that should help you to overcome that issue. But as usual, just do not hesitate to write us on the Discord.
Yep. And of course, we are continuing making optimizations. So we'll keep on working on this to make sure that we can get this set up for easier use for developers. So we'll be updating you as we make those changes along the way. And we'll put the links on about this for our docs in the description later today. But I think this is a great time. We have about 6 minutes left for events. We had, oh, did you have something?
Before we go to events, there was just a question about paymasters. And so it's a developer question. So the question is, if a project had a coin on zkSync, would they build a paymaster for their coin so they could use it for gas fees? Yes, that's one of the features that Hackathon Abstractions allows, is that every project is free to set up their own paymasters, to manage it, to provide liquidity for it, and then they can subsidize, for example, the transactions of their users, or they can offer to pay transactions with their own token. So yes, that's one of the features of paymasters, and that's also one of the features in general of Hackathon Abstractions.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yep. Yeah, I think we can jump to events. Well, we know that last week we announced that there will be a bankless video this week. It didn't occur, and I think the reason was like we've all seen everything happening with FTX and the cryptosphere. Stay tuned. This video is coming. We will announce it when it's out. I would say the news cycle has been heavily disrupted this week because of the FTX channel, but stay tuned. Announcements are coming, and we will share with you as soon as we can.
Well, exactly. We are very much about whenever something's ready that we will have it out, and we'll make sure to deliver it. We want to communicate as much as we can with the community. So regarding everything, we'll have communications, and we'll be sure to share that as soon as we have more information for everybody. And so that's a lot of that came from what the Sisyphos was talking about, came from the ramp panel that happened this week. So a lot of you might have heard Steve, our CPO, talk about that, and so that's what we're referring to. But if you want to catch that panel, you can also check that out on our Twitter, or we'll have the link in our details to check that out. Okay, 4 minutes left. I saw a few other questions in here that I wanted to tackle. What was it? Oh, the ban. So if you fill out the ban form, we're working on a different appeal process that will be a little smoother. We'll update you if if it's been approved or denied. So keep an eye on that. We'll keep you posted. Again, I don't usually like announcing things before they're ready, but it's almost there. And that way, if you're still having some issues, feel free to reach out to us at community@zkSync.io. Email us. We can look into what might be going on there. The other one.
There is a question. Is there any connection between zkSync and StarkNet? So these are separate projects. The only connection is that both are using zero knowledge proofs to scale Ethereum. That's the only connection, but these are two separate projects. Another question here: how do we see the future of zkSync chain, considering there is a lot of new competitors like Aptos, StarkNet, and Layer 0? So I see in that list different kind of projects: Layer 1, Layer 2. zkSync is focused on scaling Ethereum security and values. For now, we are zkVM building for Ethereum. So we start also, I would say, with the assumption that Ethereum has already is the ecosystem on which we want to focus on. So Aptos, Layer 0, these are perhaps competitor, but not direct competitor, I would say. And StarkNet, they are having a different approach. I think you can read also in our docs and our Reddit how our approach differs from StarkNet. And Steve also covered in a few videos and presentations how we differ from them. But again, drop into our Discord, because now we only have 2 minutes left, and we are happy also to provide you a much more extensive list of differences between zkSync and StarkNet.
Yeah. Somebody also had asked about zkSync. I must use zkSwap or more. Just want to clarify that zkSwap is a fork of zkSync v1, zkSync 1.0. So those are, again, different projects, just like we were talking about StarkNet and zkSync are different projects. L2beat.com or org? L2, let me, .com will actually list out those different L2 projects, and you'll see zkSync is separate from zkSwap and the other forks of zkSync. And then somebody asked also, zkSync is still a bit difficult to use. Why? What future plans for common peoples? Well, that's what our support is for. We love hearing feedback like that to be able to see what can we do to make things easier, better for that UI UX. So Nipponi, feel free to drop into our Discord, to send us some feedback, or you can email us again at either support@zkSync.io or community@zkSync.io. Let us know what specifics, and we're always happy to make any tweaks that we can make that experience even better for you.
So we have about less than a minute left, and I see 3 questions. One about fundraising, the other one about the effect of the current market situation on trust to our project, and zkSync tokenomics. For all these, so for how much funds did zkSync raise till now? You can Google it. It's public. Or come to our server, and we're happy to give you the link. And when it comes to zkSync tokenomics, we have no information about it right now. It's that will stay tuned, and we will announce anytime we have something new on that topic.
Yeah. I think we're about to run out of time. So really quickly,
yeah.
Happy Friday, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Oh, right on time.